All right, so when we've been working on this test or on this particular problem, it's been on the test a few times, and then we've also done it in homework and in classwork. So we want to create a graph, and then we want to create an equation for a quadratic. So it says when Miss Fifield threw a softball, it traveled a horizontal distance of 40 feet and reached a height of 12 feet at its highest point. Sketch the path of the softball and write an equation for a parabola that models it. Show all work. Now, we've talked about there's several different ways. I always do it this way. And it doesn't mean it has to be this way. Some of you like to center it on around the origin. That's fine too. The only thing that's going to be different is our vertex. So our vertex is here, and then our vertex is here. The A value for both of these will be the same. So whether you do it around the origin or like the way I do it, it'll work. All right, so then we know it went 40 feet, so this is 40. Whoopsie. We know this is 40, 0. So now we know the axis of symmetry. If this is 40, we know the axis of symmetry has to be at 20. And so we already know the height is 12 feet. So we know the vertex has to be at 20, 12. All right, so that's our model. And so now we want to write an equation for this. Well, we know the graphing form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And we know the vertex, right? So we know the vertex is 20, 12. So now I can plug this in, and so then I get y equals a times x minus 20 squared plus 12. Now, the problem is this equation isn't complete because we don't know what a is. So I need to get what a is, and surprisingly, it's easier than you think. Notice we have a y and an x value. So what we can do is we can take either this point, or we can take this point here and input it into our equation to find a, which will be our unknown. I like using the origin, so I'm going to get 0 equals a times 0 minus 20 squared plus 12. So 0 minus 20 is minus 20. Negative 20 squared is 400. So 0 equals 400a plus 12. So remember, I'm solving for a, so I've got to move 12 to the other side. And then I divide by 400, divide by 400, and then I get a equals, I can simplify that, I think. So I know 4 goes into this 3, and that's 100. So we can write it this way, or we can write an approximate value. 3 divided by 100 is negative 0.03. So now our equation is going to be y equals negative 0.03 times x minus 20 squared plus 12.